Krampus Nacht, a horrifying Christmas story. I had been living alone for not more than a week. Figures, I move out on my own the first week of December, and it's the coldest December in the past 20 years. The constant snow and wind did not help either. My new house was located in a small secluded area of town. I had neighbors to the front of me and to the right of me, but to the left there was nothing but a vast forest of tall pine trees. Actually, if the weather was not so bad, it would have been quite the view. At night, the wind howled and made my house creak and crack, while the cold entered the house through the poorly insulated doors and windows. The sound was constant and would only give up for a few minutes while the wind regrouped. The short days played a role on my health, and I drank a little alcohol to ease my boredom. It was not much later than 8:30, but the area was pitch black, as it is in the northern hemisphere during the late fall months. I heard a big thud on my roof, which jolted me out of my chair. I put down the book I was reading and sat quietly for a minute. There was no sound or any movement. The house was completely void of any sound. I went back to reading my book and forgot about the thud. At about 9 o'clock, I put down my book and walked to the kitchen to drink some eggnog. As I peered out the window to the darkness, I thought I seen a large dog looking into my living room. I went to the light switch and turned it off and went back to the window. The dog was gone at this point. I grabbed the cup and poured a glass of eggnog and went back to my chair. I was tired and dozed off. I was awoken by a large bang at my back door. The air was cool and I immediately knew the door was open. Not thinking much of it, I went to the door and I noticed 2 hoof prints in the snow just in front of my door. I slammed the door and locked it. I was amazed that the lock and door did not seem to be damaged in any form. I was scared and wanted to call someone. As I went to my nightstand to get my cell phone, I noticed a tall black creature, what I thought to be a bear, looking straight at me. However, the face of the bear seemed to have slightly a gold feel to it, and there was 2 large objects sticking out of the back of its head. I froze in fear as I realized it was not a bear, but a creature I did not know of. It looked at me for almost what seemed like 5 minutes before it let out a blood-curdling scream. I was still frozen, but I could not move anything other than my hands to my ears. The creature walked up to me and smelled my face. I thought I was going to faint, but I did not. The creature looked straight into my eyes. Its glaring red eyes said it all. There was not an ounce of good in its body. The creature smiled at me and walked behind me. I did not move and was scared to death what was going to happen. I heard the back door open and close. Before I was moving, I just had to process what just happened. I grabbed my cell phone from my nightstand and went to the back door to take a picture of the hoof prints. However, to my surprise, the hoof prints had been covered by the raging snow. There was no proof of the creature. I phoned my family and friends. Everyone thought I was joking or playing a prank on them. I left the house that night and moved back to a well-populated area from the forest. To this day, I still remember the terror I felt that night, December 5th, 2000 and something.